Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over another update on our 1K portfolio. So just to reiterate, because I get a lot of questions, we started with $1,000 USD and we're putting in $400 USD every other week, and then we update every week. So you guys know exactly where the portfolio is and what's going on. I just want to reiterate, I do own every single one of these cryptos, so I'm not putting anything into this portfolio that I don't actually own. I just want to clarify that because we are going to go over Reef Finance, some big news about Reef Finance, and talking about whether or not I think Reef Finance is a good investment, because I know there's been a lot of FUD. So stick around after the update and we're going to be talking about Reef Finance and looking into the charts. So to go into the actual portfolio, we added this week $25 USD into Cardano at $1.14. Obviously Cardano has dropped a little bit. I wouldn't be concerned too much. Actually, in my actual portfolio today, I actually bought a bunch of Cardano today, so buy the dip. That's my best advice for you guys. But we did add $25 worth, so we got 22.124 and we paid $1.14 each ADA. The next up is we actually put in $50 USD into XRP. I know people don't like XRP, I understand, but you got to understand where I'm coming from this. This is a bet against the SEC and the SEC's case. I've looked into it and I've looked into it pretty hard, and the case is essentially frivolous. The case is going after the XRP that Ripple had sold in the series investment rounds that they did initially. That does not mean XRP in holders' wallets or my XRP or your XRP is an investment contract or a security. It means that the initial XRP that was sold would be a security under the definition of the SEC. That does mean once this case is concluded, we will have finality for the people holding XRP and it's going to go up. So that is what it is. You don't have to invest in XRP. This is just a portfolio to show you what I'm doing, and I'm trying to be completely open about it. And just to give clarity, my actual portfolio has 30% holding of XRP, just to put that in perspective. The next up, guys, is Reef Finance. So I know there's a bunch of FUD and we're going to be talking about that after the update here, but we added 6,256 Reef tokens at about, and keep in mind this was all added on March 11th, which happens to be my birthday. Happy birthday, 31, thank you. We added this at 3.5 cents, and we're going to be going over exactly why the prices jumped. Next up is RSR. So we did a video about RSR. I've added RSR to my personal portfolio, and I figured it's only right to add RSR to this portfolio here. So we added 1,403.8 RSR and we paid around 7 cents per token. Now obviously the price has dropped a little bit, but again, I'm not so concerned about the short-term price action. So we're roughly currently around $5,200. Before we added everything, we were a little bit shy of the $5,000 mark. So everything has done pretty well. I'm pretty happy with where the portfolio is, and I think we have some good exposure to both some good, safe investments compared to some riskier investments, and the risk is definitely dependent on your perspective of the token and the situation that we're going into. So I did want to go over Reef Finance, why exactly it's pumped. So I wanted to first look at the chart and discuss this. So right now we're at 4.6 cents, almost 4.7. And we saw this shoot up right back to where we previously were before the big kind of FUD event, and then everything kind of bled out for a little bit. I don't know if the FUD event really drove a lot of this, but there was a lot of FUD in terms of Justin Sun being part of the project in some capacity, and also some transparency issues with Reef Finance and the business and everything else. But we do know that now we have a major player from FTX. The FTX exchange has invested now into buying Reef tokens. So he's personally invested in Reef Finance. Now another big thing when you look at Alameda, so Alameda Research has dropped $20 million into the cross-chain platform in terms of Reef Finance. So this is an investment into Reef. So they bought 20 million in Reef tokens with the eyes of purchasing more. So this just goes to show that there is institutional demand, and I understand the FUD and everything else, but you have to recognize too that sometimes when you're taking investments and when you're investing in something, you have to make a risk. And even now, I already know that in the comment section below, there's going to be people that say Reef is a scam. There were people that said XRP is a scam, and there were people that said Bitcoin was a Ponzi scheme. it is what it is. You have to take some risk in this environment, especially when you're looking at being now in the bull market. Now I'm going to make a video about exactly where I think we are in the bull market and then where I think we're going to go. But it's important to understand that right now you have to take a little bit more risk to really get that reward. Now, I'm not giving you financial advice or anything else, but you should have some safe projects, being Cardano, Polkadot, Bitcoin, obviously, Ethereum, Chainlink. But it is good to hedge around and get things like Reef Finance, even though there's a big FUD campaign around it. Because we've already talked about where Reef Finance could go, and I think I will make a more fleshed out video about Reef Finance once we have a little bit more perspective, once I see a little bit more action amongst the business, and also once we see more, and also once we're closer to when the parachains go live. Now, if you're looking to enter Reef right now, I'm not sure exactly, and now I'm not giving you financial advice here. I'm not sure personally if I would buy now at 4.6 cents, just because I can expect in the short term it might drop. But if you're not worried about the short term, if you're not worried about what your Reef is going to do in the next week or 2 weeks, yeah, sure, buy it, because I fully believe that once the parachains are up, we're going to see this fly. Now, this also goes into the same regard in terms of KSM, and KSM has done really well and it's pumped, but I've talked about KSM before plenty of times on the channel, and I know KSM, we can easily see $1,000 KSM, easily. With the market cap, we can see a much higher KSM. So I did break down how KSM could reach these high levels in terms of if it was in the top 20 of cryptos, which I fully believe that it could be, especially once we see Polkadot DeFi come out. But having some KSM in your bags is going to do well. And then if you have that staked on Kraken, you can stake that for 12% APY. I also have my DOT staked on Kraken as well, and that's just easier for me than running my own individual node. If you're knowledgeable enough to run your node, go ahead and run the node, because obviously that's more APY and more rewards. But for now, I'm perfectly happy with my 12% that Kraken provides me. Another project that you need to be aware of is Sora. It's going to be the gas token for the PSwap exchange, which is essentially Uniswap for Polkadot. Now, I'm a huge Polkadot bull, and you guys know that. Once we have Polkadot DeFi live, I think it's going to blow everything away. Now, of course, right around the corner in terms of Ethereum and my Ethereum bulls, we do have a light at the end of the tunnel. So Ethereum is working to reduce the transaction fees coming through. Hopefully this is going to alleviate the problem and make it so we can now again use Uniswap for regular people that don't want to spend $40 just to make a transaction. Now, a big thing to note is Uniswap is actually coming out with their newest version as well, so that should also alleviate the fee issue that we're having. So that's hugely bullish on things like Ethereum and Uniswap. Now, I'd be a little bit careful about Uniswap, because as much as I believe it's a good crypto and it's going to stay up, I believe it's a top 20 crypto, not a top 8 crypto. So I don't think it's going to stay up here. Now, that doesn't mean that the price isn't going to go up. I absolutely think the price will go up, just it won't outpace certain other cryptos. Now, keep in mind, if you'd gotten into Uniswap way back in the early days, you would have gotten Uniswap at around $3 or so. If you bought around the time that I bought, which was around $2.40, and I just YOLO'd some money in, you'd be pretty happy with the price increase that you've gotten. But it's important to note that you have to factor in ROI. How high can Uniswap truly go? When you have 1 billion tokens and then 500 million and then around 520 million are in circulating supply, it could still go fairly high. But the reality is, how much higher could it go? Possibly 150 to 200. I could see that as realistic. We could see a giant boom, but I don't know if the ROI is really worth it that I would invest now in Uniswap. But again, this isn't financial advice, and I know a lot of people like Uniswap and a lot of people like Ethereum, and again, the light is at the end of the tunnel for my ETH bulls. Now, I get requested all the time to talk about coins that didn't make the cut that I wanted to buy and I didn't. And these coins often I add to my other bag, my HODL bag. So I would say that you should look heavily right now at Binance Coin, because I do think that Binance Coin at this level is pretty cheap. It's dipped down and I think it can go a lot higher. So once we start seeing everything in terms of the market recover, I think Binance Coin will go up again, because obviously the Binance Smart Chain has been hugely bullish in terms of the projects that are adding on to it and the functionality of the exchange. And again, I've talked about PancakeSwap. I love PancakeSwap. It's one of the best DEXs I've ever experienced, and I'm really excited to see where DEXs go from there, because I don't think PancakeSwap is going to be the end all be all, but I do think that PancakeSwap is a decent investment. And again, same with Pancake Token. We've talked about that before. In terms of Pancake, it might still be good at these levels, because I know it's at around $11, and I think, yeah, so it's way below its all-time high, which I definitely think it could get back up there, and then much, much more. Again, in terms of a Polkadot, I would like to make another call out to Reff Finance. Reff is going to be incredibly useful in terms of integrating other cryptocurrencies and blockchains into the PSwap and other decentralized exchanges and DeFi in Polkadot sector. So I definitely look at adding Reff to your bags, especially at these prices. Now, Decentraland is pumped, but that's obviously because of NFTs and everything else. So you will see things like Decentraland and Engine pump. Those are things that I've had on my radar for a while. Unfortunately, I didn't buy Engine when I should have. I will end it with this. Congratulations to anyone that was holding HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph. That's one of the biggest market movers of the portfolio for this week. It's moved around, I think, 26%. So amazing. It's been great. We've made a decent profit on our HBAR, so we should be really happy about that. And again, if you're holding Engine, if you look at that, that's at $2. The last time I looked at it, it was like 50 cents. So congratulations to anyone that's holding Engine, and I do think it could go much higher with NFTs. Keep a close eye on my Discord. I'm going to link that down below. I'm going to start a new channel where I can track my live streams, because I know there was a little bit of a faux pas in the last live stream. I really apologize for that. It was my birthday, so I celebrated impromptu and I didn't end up streaming, but I will try to stream a little bit more, and I'll try to stick to a schedule so you guys can see when I am streaming. But if you liked the video, go ahead and give me a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe to the videos if you want to see more. All right, guys, happy hodling.